be under the sea. Ain't an octopus is gone with you.
And we have Marco Bordieri of the Sydney Underwater Gazette to guide us through some shipwrecks. Hello, Marco.
Hello, Dom. How are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Is it a good day to be heading out under the sea? Are the conditions looking okay?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Visibility is a little bit average, I have to say, with like 5 meters in northern beaches, something like 8 eastern suburbs. The water is, the swell is not too big, so most of the places should be accessible. So, yeah, it could be definitely much worse.
All right. So if people can get out there, what are some great things to see in terms of shipwrecks? How many of them are around Sydney, visitable shipwrecks?
Yeah, so we got so many shipwrecks. We're running these different episodes every week. So last time we spoke about the shipwrecks along the coast of New South Wales, and we have like 1,800 shipwrecks on the coast of New South Wales, which is 1,100 kilometers. So we have like 1.5 wreck every kilometer of the coast. It's such a large quantity.
How extraordinary! And it's not just ships out there. There are other crafts around too, aren't there?
Yeah, we have to go a little bit further north in the middle of the Ocean Pacific, where the key battles of World War II has been fought. So, like Battle of Guadalcanal or the Battle of Coral Sea. These are the places where you find so many airplanes, for example. I would say everything is happening in the triangle between Australia, Hawaii, and Japan.
Right. And so what are some of the highlights you'd recommend to people?
Yeah, so first of all, I would say we've been talking about the shipwrecks, and I would say airplanes are definitely different in the way they corrode underwater. So looking at an airplane is usually different because they tend to be in very good condition. I mean, especially if the pilot was able to land, in a controlled way. Usually, most of the times, what you find, the only exterior damage you will see, it's just the propeller blades that are bent backwards when they impact the water.
Right.
And also the aluminium, because they're made of aluminium alloy. So a plane doesn't rust, it corrodes, but actually there is a chemical process where there is a kind of a thin layer of protection which is built as the airplane goes into the water. So sometimes you find this airplane wreck. I've been, looking and touching airplane wrecks from World War II, and you can still, move your hand across the surface and feel the rivets, because unless there is sponges or coral covering them, you can still feel the surface and all the macro elements of the surface. So it's some of them are really in great conditions.
So it's a bit of a difference from that traditional idea of the rust encrusted ship on the bottom of the ocean. How interesting! And there's actually a place in Vanuatu, not too far away, that has a huge number of other kinds of vehicles underwater. Tell us about the Espiritu Santo beach.
Yeah, that's an incredible place. So in Espiritu Santo, which is an island part of Vanuatu, there is a place which has been called the $1 Million Beach. And the reason is that that island used to be used by the U.S. Army in World War II as a military supply and a support base. So they were shipping all the jeeps, tractors, and cranes in order to be sent further north on the front line. And when the war, the end of the war, August 45, they found so many supplies on the island, and it was not worth sending back to U.S. because of the cost, because all the ships were full of returning soldiers. So they offered the local government to purchase those items for a very cheap price. But interesting enough, the local government, knowing that the U.S. were not going to ship anything back to U.S., and say, we just wait, they're going to leave them here and we get them for free. But unfortunately, the U.S. Army decided, because the transaction was not happening, nobody was buying them. So they say, all right, we're going to sink them in the water. So basically, they just ran all the equipment down the beach and into the water. And now there is this huge quantity of vehicles. And that's why it's called the $1 Million Beach, because $1 million has been dumped underwater.
That seems enormously unfortunate outcome because there's all this kind of rubbish under the sea rather than actually they could have been able to use them. Maybe they could have been slightly more generous, Marco. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. How fascinating. I had no idea that all that stuff was there.
Yeah. There are some another incredible place for different reasons where you find vehicles underwater is the Truk Lagoon that's in Micronesia. And this is the vehicles are there because there were 60 cargo ships, the Japanese cargo ships that were sunk in a couple of days by US. And we will talk about this in another episode. But anyway, on top of those ships, you can find a quantity of military tanks, trucks, and I don't know. It's just a magic world.
All right.
As horrible as the world can be. But
but under the water, there's some amazing things to be found. Thank you so much, Marco. That's Marco Bordieri there from the Sydney Underwater Gazette. In another episode with him very soon, as he says.